thanks for joining me. My name is Royal, and in this video, I'm going to review my trading metrics via the Profit Trifecta for last week, which was January 5th through January 9th. Now, I've really enjoyed trading in the simulator because it gives me a chance to execute a strategy, see if I can prove consistency and profitability within that strategy. And so far, through December and now into January, I've had great success with this. You can check out my other YouTube videos where I go through my highlights of the profit trifecta for prior weeks, along with my daily live trading archives. But a couple key things to note here. So in the prior week, this is the 2 weeks ago column up here from the profit trifecta. So 2 weeks ago, I had an 80% win rate. My profit to loss ratio was 2.31, which is $2.31 of profit for every dollar of loss. And my profit trifecta score was 17. That was 2 weeks ago. Now, when we look, 17 is a total score of 14 to 18 gives us a professional trader rank. So 17 falls into that professional trader category. Now, the way I'm using this is to determine, okay, based upon the strategy that I'm executing and the way I'm taking the trades, and as I manage my risk, can I become a consistently profitable trader? And thus far on paper, I've been able to do that through the month of December and now into January. I had a harder month in November, and then in October I was profitable as well. So I've really been pushing myself to use these metrics for improvement. Now you can see last week, my consistency is still rated a 6 because I was profitable. My win percentage did go down. I hit 65% on my win percentage, but the stark contrast here, or the number that really dropped me, was my profit to loss ratio. So I basically earned, basically dollar for dollar almost. I did end up profitable $598 on the week. So that's pretty close to a $1 gain for $1 loss. So not a great profit to loss ratio for the last week. And that the culmination of these scores gave me a profit trifecta score of 12, which falls into this experienced trader category. Now, if you'll remember from my recap that I posted on last week on my performance, I had the Tuesday of last week, I was down $2,800 on that single day. Now, the day prior, I was up $2,000. So this speaks to the importance of managing your red days. If that red day ends up being 1,500 and I cap it, I ended up taking 7 different trades, lost between $300 and $400 on each of those. So nothing, massive, but the culmination of those losses really threw my metrics off on this profit to loss ratio. So if I was able to add back that 1,300 that I lost, add it to the 598 that I made, now all of a sudden I'm profitable nearly $2,000 on the week. And this profit to loss ratio score likely would have been closer to this 1.5 for 1, or maybe even as high as 1.75 for 1. That's critical. It's critical to be able to take this time, review your trades, take a look at your metrics, and be able to understand what's driving your trading. If you treat it like a business and you start to dial in, okay, I've got to keep these red days smaller, then for me, moving into the current week that we're in, which today was Monday, it was a great day. I ended up $1,800. I traded 2 stocks. I was up $2,000 on one of the stocks, and I lost $230 on the other stock. And as I consistently do that, then I can expect that these profit to loss ratio metrics will improve. My win percentages will go up, and I can keep this consistency dialed in by focusing on having those green weeks and not letting any one red day destroy a green week. So if you're not using a system like this, I would strongly advocate that you do. It's extremely helpful to get into these types of metrics. Take a look at where you're struggling. One of the best things you can do is start taking fewer trades. If you're having a hard time pinpointing where you're making mistakes, just trade less. Start taking fewer trades. Push yourself to take maybe 1 or 2 trades, or 2 to 3 trades, and then really work on these metrics. If you're doing that in a simulator, you're going to be able to avoid these large red days that are going to hurt your confidence, hurt your account. And even if it's happening in a simulator, yes, it may hurt your confidence, but you can build that back more easily if you don't have real money on the line. Now, of course, at some point, you got to transition to real money. And that's the piece that I'm working on as well, is to prove this consistency so that I can work into real money and take smaller positions and build that confidence in a real money live account as well. So hopefully you found this review helpful. Again, Profit Trifecta, use these metrics, use something like this to help you evaluate how you're trading and your trading performance. Until the next time, enjoy this video, and we'll catch you in the next review.